Hello. Hello. Okay, let me check if the sound is okay. Hello, good morning. 안녕하세요. Let me see. Okay, good. Sounds is good. YouTube here. I always set up my Instagram live together. So that's why. Let me open the live streaming in Instagram. Sorry. All right. Looks good. Looks good. Sounds good. Hello, good morning. This is Eddy from Google Hanguk. Okay, live in Instagram as well. Hello. Okay, good. Looks good. How are you guys? How are you guys? Hello, good morning. 안녕하세요. This is Eddy from Google Hanguk. Already end of the April. Time flies as always. I normally do the live streaming in YouTube and Instagram at the end of the each month, and this is update or live streaming in April. Today is 28th of April. Now is 8 a.m. in South Korea. Thank you for joining live streaming. Yes, time flies these days. It gets faster and faster. Oh my God. How's Nathan doing? He's been so helpful. Thanks for saying that. Nathan seems great, I guess. He is in US now for visiting his family, but still, like he is helping you guys for answering your emails or give you some information. But I believe he is doing great. I hope and I believe. And once again, thanks for saying the nice word. I'm gonna pass this message to him. Uh, you know, Today actually, I'm gonna have a meeting with him today. Uh, so I'm gonna pass them good message to Nathan today. 1 a.m. in France. France. Oh, it's not bad, not good. I hope uh, it's good night here in Vienna. It's doing Nigeria, Egypt 1 a.m. Jordan. Okay, looks good. Looks not that bad. Looks good. Looks good. So I mean, the reason that I turn on the live streaming in 8 a.m. in Korea time is because I calculate all the like time differences, and then this 8 a.m. is like a kind of okay time to cover some countries that we support. So that's why I normally turn on the live streaming in at 8 a.m. Normally Thursday morning in Korea time. Hello, I'm coming soon in June. Thanks to you. Thanks for saying that. Okay, 5 p.m. Not that bad at all. So thanks for joining live streaming in Instagram and YouTube. Colombia. Can't wait to see visit South Korea. Thanks for saying that. Good. So like I said, we do normally monthly live streaming, and this time is to if you have any questions about the how to study in Korea, any tips or any information you need from me, I will happy to answer it right away. Hopefully, all the questions. 7 p.m. in Canada, Denmark 1 a.m. It's kind of mixed the time, but I believe not that not that bad. So that's why I turn on normally 8 a.m. in South Korea. 안녕하세요. So if you have any questions about as I said, if you have any questions about how to study in Korea, or if you have any questions, anything about study Korean in Korea, I'm gonna answer you guys. So feel free to leave a message below or comment. Or by any chance, if I miss any of your questions, you can always contact us using the contact form. It's the best way to contact us, or info@gogohanguk.com. So that's the best way to reach us, you know, if I miss any questions from you guys. But I'm gonna try my best to answer you guys. Good, good, good. Very good. Okay. From Brazil. So all the countries. That's good. Oh, okay. Okay. So first the question from the YouTube from Jay. I'm not sure if you guys talked about it before, but how would I avoid the quarantine period? I think I would have to verify it somehow. Vaccination status. Okay, so that's very good questions. So as you guys know, we already informed you guys about the vaccine exemption. It has been quite, I don't know, it has been pretty much a month, from the April 1st. I remember, I might be wrong, but I remember like from the April 1st, if you get vaccines 3 times with the booster shots, then you will be exempt from the quarantine, which which is 7 days. Uh, if you got like 2 vaccines, then the second shot should be in between the 14 days up to 180 days. So if you are in between these days now, or when you arrive in Korea, then you will be exempt from the quarantine. So that's like two rules. So once again, you need to get vaccine in order to get a quarantine exemption. So that's the first condition. So when you come to Korea, no, no, when you need to, before your departure from your country, when you from the date, uh, the sorry, before your departure date, you need to go to some site. What do you call it? Let me check. But when you need to go to like our government site, and you need to register your vaccine status, saying that you got the 2 vaccines or you got 3 vaccines with the flight ticket information. And then, the government will check everything is okay. Then you will come to Korea, and then you will not have a quarantine anymore. So that's the kind of rule. So you need to follow 2 things. First thing would be you need to see your vaccine status, like whether you got the 2 shots or three shots, and then you need to report it to our government site online. And then you can just like a record, you can put your record on it, and then you can come to Korea without having the quarantine. So that's the 2 things you need to see. So which is very good, as I said before, it has been 2 years to have like quarantine rules. It was at first like 14 2 weeks, 14 days, and then it became the 10 days, and nowadays it's 7 days. Let's say, for example, if you have not get any vaccines, you need to still do the like your quarantine for 7 days in Korea. So that's the rule. So whether you got the vaccine or not, based on that, you will get the exemption or not. So that would be quarantine rule. Another question from the Instagram. Will you guys partner with more universities in Korea? Yes, yes. We have our own plan to expand our services to another schools, because nowadays we have schools in our service have schools in Seoul, Busan, and Daegu, 3 cities, and then Hanyang, Donggu, Gyeonggu, which is the famous ones, and also Yeongnam in Daegu, Sillab University in Busan. But of course, we always want to expand our partner universities in Korea. But I cannot tell when exactly, because it's not totally up to us. But we are in line to have more schools. Yes. So answer is yes. I want to come to study. I want to come to study. I have degree in history from Nigerian university. What can you advise me to apply for, and which university are not too expensive? So I need to start with our service first, because our service is to introduce you the Korean classes, Korean courses in university. So I want you to understand that first. So if you are interested in studying Korean in Korea, then we can help you for the process. However, you know, in terms of the prices, the expensive. Uh, Normally, the schools in Seoul is more expensive than the schools in Daegu or Busan. So if you have like short budget, then I would recommend you go to the schools in Busan or Daegu, so another city out of the Seoul. So that would be my suggestion. Another question from the YouTube. It seemed like it was saying that you have to leave that money there for the entire time you were studying at the school. Is that correct, or did I misunderstood? Misunderstanding. It was saying that you have to leave the money there for the entire time you are studying. I'm not really sure the question. I'm not really like follow up the your question. Leave the money. I never heard about it. Leaving the money in Korea while you are studying. Not really. In terms of the money, what we give you the information regarding the money we give you is that when you apply for visa, student visa, you need to have like a in your bank account in your country, of course, you need to have a 10,000 US dollar. So you need to provide a letter saying that you have money, and then I want to apply for the student visa. That's the, I think, only one thing, except of course the tuition payment. That's the only one thing that we give you information, the information that we give you in terms of the money. So I'm not really understand your question. Yes, yes, yes. As I say, you need to have like a 10,000 US dollar in your bank, which means you need to prove that you can cover all your expenses in Korea, but you don't have to put it in there and then living there for while you're studying. No, you can just like at some point you need to just provide the letter, and then uh, it's good to go. You can use it for your tuition or uh, yes, yes. You don't have the money has doesn't have to be in the bank anymore. Once you provided the letter saying that proof that you have the money, basically money to cover all your expenses in Korea. So that's the only thing. Good, good, good. No problem at all. I mean, it's like the reason that I got it's not from us. Our government want want to check. You can cover all your expenses. So the criteria is 10,000 US dollar. It's not what we decided, but the government. Another question from the Instagram: how much would be good to save for Korea for at least a year to be able to live? I know it usually varies by people, but do you know how much roughly can be starting point for it? So basically, the cost of the living. So the, whenever I tell you guys about the cost of the living, there are maybe three main things. So first thing would be tuition, and second thing would be like accommodation. A third thing would be like a general expenses. So as you said, like correctly, it's depending on the person, you know. But I can give you at least the average cost for the two things. So for the tuition, so one term, 3 months, 3 months course for the tuition is about 1,500 US dollar. 1,500 US dollar. About the accommodation, I normally calculate in monthly basis 500 US dollar. So which means 3 months studying, 3 months accommodation is gonna be 3,000 US dollar. I'm giving you the average cost. Of course, if you find a very good like accommodation, it's gonna be much expensive, much more expensive. Or sometimes you can find accommodation cheaper than 500 US dollar. It's possible. So then the cost will go down. So for two things, tuition and the accommodation, it's gonna be 3,000 US dollar. So for a year, it's gonna be 6,000 US dollar at least, or average. And then the other expenses would be your food, shopping, having fun, drinking beer, soju, or this and that. So it's going to be totally depending on the spending habit of yours. So transportation or like a telephone services. So with this is I cannot really give you the you know about the cost, but these two things, tuition, accommodation, in a year is going to be at least 6,000 US dollar. I would say average 6,000 US dollar. And then you can add up these like expenses. So I would say, you might need to at least, as a bank statement, I think you might need to have like 10,000 US dollar uh, living in South Korea for 1 year. That would be my rough calculations. Once again, it's going to be depending on the spending habit of the person. Another question from the YouTube. Let's say everything is ready and you're ready to fly, but for the certain reason you won't be able to make it anymore. Would you lose money, or can your can you lure over the money placed to next available time? Yes, that's possible. So for example, if you have any like problem with your family or your health or something like that, you need to either delay or cancel your studying. The money pretty much like when you tell us in advance means like before starting the term, then the money is most the tuition, and most likely, especially for the tuition, is most likely 100% refunded. But once again, the condition would be you need to tell us before term starting. Then the money will be refunded 100%. If you want to delay to next term or next years or something like that, but then I need to double check with the schools. However, your money will stay with the university, and then you will come next term or next year and then study without having any problem or without paying any extra money. But the older condition would be you need to tell us before the term starting. Okay, that's good. It's possible for me learn Korean language by online like this. Yes, of course. I mean, there are many, like not just only, we do have like online classes, online courses. But in the meantime, there are many like platforms or YouTube channel or like books. Then you can study by yourself, like online or offline, or mostly online. Then of course it's totally possible, I think, especially these days. But it's more likely up to you. You need to study very hard. Whenever I talk about the Korean course in Korea, it's very intense. You need to study 4 hours per day, 20 hours per week, which is very intensive. And there are some quiz, homework, and sometimes like presentations. So you need to study very hard. We say it's intensive classes. In the meantime, studying by yourself online is gonna take a lot of like persistent, your effort to keep studying basically. So studying online by yourself or studying online like this, totally possible. There are many like materials, like I said, but you need to have your own will or your own goal to basically motivate yourself to keep studying. Okay, and to give you like updates, we just launched our Dongguk online course called Talk Korean. So if you are interested in that course, just like check our website. There are, when you see our website, there are school, university, and online course. When you go to online course, there are Hanyang's one and the Dongguk's one. So we just launched a new program from the Dongguk University. So you will have that, of course, if you are interested in that course, you can always attending the class. And the beauty of our class is unlike any other platforms. If you finish well, I mean, there are some conditions, of course, but if you finish if you finish the course, you'll be able to get the official certificate from the university. And then, if you have any chance to come to Korea, either Hanyang or Dongguk schools, then you will be able to starting from the level 2, because you already, know everything from the about the level 1 from the online courses. That's the beauty of it, and I believe like any other courses cannot provide that certificate. So that's the beauty of our program. So have a look. All right, thanks for joining our live streaming, Gogo Hanguk's live streaming. This is Eddy from Gogo Hanguk. I do normally in live streaming at the end of each month in YouTube and Instagram. Once again, this is live Q&A. So if you have any questions about the studying Korean in Korea, I will happy to answer it. I will try to my best to cover all the questions. Sir, I want to study masters in South Korea. How to apply the university? So as I said, for us, our service is only helping you guys for the studying Korean in Korea. So I cannot give you really the answer. However, whenever you guys ask us about the studying like a bachelor or like a master and etc., then I would normally recommend you guys to just contact the university directly. There should be something, documents you need to provide, and the staff, I guess, I hope he or she will answer you the question. Sorry about it. Do we need a degree to be able to study in South Korea? Depending on the program. So for us, if you want to study Korean in Korea, then you don't really need a degree from the university or college. Our requirement to applications is two things. You need to be over 18 years old, and you need to finish your high school at least. And of course, you need to provide a high school certificate. I mean, it could be high school degree, but that's the only two requirements. Other than that, there are not really things that you need to be in order to apply Korean course in Korea. So that's the two criteria. Hello, could I ask what possibilities are there for someone with a low degree from the UK? So what's your question? You wanna go to law? You wanna study law in Korea? You mean? So if then, once again, sorry about it, we cannot give you the answer. Since we only help you to study Korean in Korea. Only one thing that you might need to look into is that we do have like a visiting program. We do have program called the visiting program from the Hanyang University. So the visiting program is you so basically similar to exchange program, but your school and the Hanyang University doesn't have to be partnered with, so that you can just like pay for the tuition into Hanyang University, and then you can study maybe the law related like degree majors. Many of the courses will be in English, so you can select what you like. And under the visiting program, you can also study Korean in Korea. So that might be the program you might look into. So once again, you can just go to our website and look for the visiting program under the university section. So please have a look, and if you have questions about the visiting program, or if you're interested in, please let us know using our contact form, which is the best one. Can you help me to study in university in South Korea? I'm from Algeria. So for our services, so there are some countries we cannot help. There are some countries we can help. So in the sense, Algeria is not the country that we can support yet. I mean, just because we are still like our company is still small, so there are some countries we can help, or there are some countries we cannot help. So Algeria is not one of them. So I want you to contact the school directly. Sorry about it. But once again, as time goes by, we want to provide more services in more countries and also more with more languages. So that's why, last year we launched our services in French. So we want to do more. We want to grow more. So give you more, language help as well as more countries that we can cover. But sorry for now, we cannot help you, people from the Algeria. Sorry about it. I'm having trouble typing because your background is white and my writing color is white. So there are lots of types. Sorry about it, but it's okay. I can see. Sorry, maybe I should maybe I can. Maybe. Let's see. It will help you to type better. Can you, sorry, can you apply to work for Gogo Hanguk? Uh, Currently, we are actually looking for somebody who can speak French. So that's the so if you can speak French, please send your resume and cover letter to us. Other than that, not really. But of course, this year we have many plans, a lot of plans to expand our services. So meaning that we want to hire more people, but the person needs to be in Korea and then having some skills in relate to CS, and then somebody who can speak like their own languages. So for example, for now we have like English support, Italian, Spanish, and French, and then we are looking for these French support, French coordinators. Other three things, maybe yes. In the future, we want to have like more stuff. Then I will let you know, guys. Good. For now, we are looking for somebody who can speak French. All right. Sorry. I want to use my saving account for the 10,000. It should be US more than US dollar. Pound is anyway. Requirement which I don't often use. However, it states for Gogo Hango I have to provide previous transaction history. To what do I do if it's not in use? So for that, each first thing first, so each university has different requirements. I guess you want go to Dongguk University because Dongguk University is only university that among our universities, Dongguk University is the only one university that requires providing 6 months transaction information. So for that, so I wanted to explain us like the reason that you can only provide this letter, and then you might not be able to provide the 6 month transaction history because of this. And then we need to double check with the school if they are okay with it, and then you can use it. But like I said, if school say no, then you might not be able to use it, or you might need to provide extra additional letter or additional bank statements saying that, like for example, there are frozen 1,000 US dollar bank account month, and they are active on your own. You are using another account, then you might be able to provide the two things together. This is providing the 10,000 US dollar, having 10,000 US dollar, and this is providing the transaction history. But once again, I wanted to ask your coordinator, this is my condition now, and would you be able to, would your school accept the letter or not? So that would be my first step and first suggestion. So ask your coordinator, uh, explain your situation, and then from there, we will give you more information. Good. Hmm, hmm. That's what I'm saying. So uh, give the information to the school coordinator, and school coordinator will check the university if it's okay or not to use, and then we can go from there. Okay, no problem. 안녕하세요. When should I apply when wanting to go to Seoul in March 2024? So for that, my answer is always like the best way to contact us, the early the better. That's the first condition. Secondly, I normally recommend you contact us 6 months ahead. 6 months ahead. So that's the best time to contact us. Or if you have medications right now and you are not really sure if you are really come to March 2024 or maybe earlier than that, then at least 1 year in advance is okay. But over 1 year in advance, over 1 year advance, then it's not really ideal. So I would recommend you to contact us 6 months ahead, the best time, but 6 months, 1 year, okay. All right. Just because nobody know what will happen in 1 year or like over 1 year. So that's why it's a little bit early to ask us like application for March 2024. But let's say I would recommend you contact us March 2023, saying that I might be able to go to Seoul. I want to go to Seoul in March 2024. That's, I guess, the okay time. All right. But once again, the earlier the better. And still, like for us, we are still accepting the June applications, June 2022 applications. Of course, not all school, but only one school. But still, you are able to come now, even now, for the June term. But of course, you need to prepare all the things very fast. But it's possible. But I would normally recommend that like 6 months ahead is the best time to contact us or ask us. I want to apply for studies through a scholarship, MA in English. Is that possible? I mean, yes, it's possible. But once again, for us, we don't really have any information about the scholarship. So want you to just like Google it. That's something that we don't master. I mean, that's not really what we do. We normally do the Korean language program, introducing Korean language program, which doesn't really have the scholarship. So in terms of the scholarship or master degree in English, just go through Google and check it what you can. If Dongguk University say no, can I pivot to other schools like Hanyang? Yes, that's possible. That's possible. If Dongguk say no, then you can change your school to Hanyang or Dongguk, totally up to us. That's possible. But it should be no. Oh yeah, that's possible. Yes. Okay, for the Korean study trip, do we need to get our visa ourselves, or will the program take care of that for us? So, in terms of visa, it doesn't have to be study trip. It doesn't have to be like a long-term stay. Visa is on your own. You need to apply by yourself in any case. But we can tell you what kind of documents based on, of course, like visa type. We can give you information what to prepare in order to, let's say, for example, apply for D4 or apply for the KETA. We can give you the information, but at the end, you are in charge of your visa applications in your country or online. So it should be you on your own. So including the study trip. All right. Let me go fast so I can cover all the questions. Good morning. Do we need a study visa for the 3 months program? Most likely no. So if you want to study only 3 months, which is we call it normally one term, then most of the country is many countries. I would say many countries you can come to Korea with KETA. So after this live streaming, I want you to go to like KETA, searching for KETA, and I want you to check your country is under the KETA, which is new system from the March of, when was it? September of last year. Yes, September of last year. Our government launched a new kind of like visa service, visa portal called KETA, which is very similar to US, what they have been done. So you need to apply for it in order to come to Korea without visa. So visitor visa, basically. So with the visitor visa, not student visa, you are able to study 1 term uh, in our universities. All right. Greetings from Luxembourg. What is the best transport option to take from Incheon Airport to Hanyang University? There are My recommendation is two things. So first thing would be using the like airport bus. Then the bus will go to the Hanyang University. That's the kind of one of the best ways. Second thing would be using the subway. You know, so that would be my two options. Of course, if you have some money, then you can do like an airport taxi. Or if you wanna arrange the pickup services from us, we can also do that. So basically, three things. So if you want to save some money, you can use subway, either subway or bus. Or if you have some money, want to be safe, you get lost, then using the taxi would be make sense. Would make sense. So based on your budget, you can do either of it. Okay. I would say using the subway or using the bus relatively easy. Uh, yes. Mm, oh, okay, okay. Uh, all the countries is available to Google Home program? No. Like I said, we are still small company, so there are some countries that we can support right now, and there are some countries we cannot support right now. So uh, that's it. And then once again, we want to expand more services to more countries, our services to more countries, but it's gonna take some time. So not all the countries. Do you have a recommendation of scholarship to learn languages? No, we don't have any information about the scholarship. Sorry about it. Okay, same question. No scholarship support from us. 3 months course apparently it's not June 7 to September. What is it? Okay. Apparently, it's not just 5th September to November 14th of November. Few days. What was that? I Few days earlier. Attendance few days earlier. I'm not really sure what your question, but I guess she meant that 3 months studying is not really 3 months. When it comes to I just like tell you guys 3 months because to understand you better. But when you calculate the days, it's about like 10 weeks, 10 weeks study from the university. So, but simply I just tell you guys the 3 months study for 1 term. I guess that's the thing that you mentioned. I'm not sure. Ask me again, Koniji, if I'm not really, if I don't really don't really understand your question. Okay, I think I can cover all the questions. Good, good, very good. In Instagram. Let me go back to the YouTube. What does a typical classroom look like country-wise? Are there more American students than European, etc.? No, not really. So I can give you the answer. So when you go to university for the Korean language course, the most of the countries, either mainly the two countries, China, Vietnam. These two countries is gonna be over 50, more than half of the people would come from this country. And the other like 50% is like random countries. So that's the something that I can tell you. American student or European student is totally depending on the classroom or depending on the schools, most likely classrooms. So that's the typical classroom look like a nationality mixed, mostly Chinese or Vietnamese. That's the main countries. And other than that, it's like mixed. How many doses of vaccine do we need to accept? access to the dormitory. In terms of the dormitory, it's totally depending on the schools. Some dormitory doesn't really require for you to have like vaccine. So I want you to ask us using our contact form. I will ask your coordinator uh, if you for the questions. All right. But some countries, some dormitory asks for the 2 shots only, not only 2 shots only. But some dormitory doesn't really ask for the vaccine proof. So I want you to ask your coordinator, uh, and he or she will answer you. All right. Good, good, very good. Okay, okay. Hanyang University, sorry, they say they want us to be there earlier. Do we have the proper dates? Yes, we already have the dates, and I believe you already, hopefully, have the information. If not, let me give you. So, Hanyang University want you arrive a little bit earlier than the starting date, of course, but there is only one condition. So, if you based on your based on your visa exemption. So if you need to still do the quarantine, then you need to be. Let me just check. I want to give you the date right now because we already have the information. I hope you already have it, but if not, I will give you the answer right now. So if you are coming this June term, for example, so if you need to do quarantine, you need to arrive in Korea by May 23rd. But if you will be exempt from the quarantine, then you can arrive in Korea by May 26th. All right. So it's based on your like a vaccine status or visa, not visa, a quarantine exemption. So based on that, you need to be arrived on that day. But it's not that early because compared to like starting date is in June term is June 7th. So after 7 days, or it's about like a 7 days in advance. Or if you need to be quarantined, then it's about like 2 weeks in advance, which is not too early. Okay, so that's the condition from the Hanyang University. All right, cool. I think I covered the many of the questions. How about homestay? What kind of family do you live with? How big? Also, what if you have certain uh, dietary requirements? So, in terms of the in terms of the homestay, uh, it's very simple answer. For that, it's very simple answer. You can provide what you want, like a homestay type, and then like food things. That we are try to our best to match it, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna be guaranteed. Okay, so if you want to have like small family, like three, I don't know, with kids or without kids or this and that, give us the information. We are trying to do our best to match your request. That's the something that I can answer right now. All right. Okay, let me see. Another question from the Mimi Mill. Is there one-to-one courses? Yes, we do have one-to-one courses. The course is from the Lexis Korea, which is like private schools. So for that, if you are interested in one-to-one, we can help you to arrange it. But of course, it's gonna be more expensive than the group courses. So my answer is yes. Let me see. Sorry. Another question from the Veronica. Veronica Chi? Veronica Chi? Is it possible to study in South Korea just for a summer period, like three less than 4 months, 3 or 4 months? I guess 3 or 4 months. Thanks for answering. Yes, that's possible. So once again, the university studying at the university is one term is about 3 months. So that's the program that you might be able to join. And as I said, the Lexis Korea, the private school, you can study from the only 1 week up to unlimited. You know, so if you want to study only 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that's also possible. But it's gonna be Lexis Korea. Uh, so yes, sure, short-term study totally possible. And let us know what you want, and then we can guide you from there. Okay. Another question. Oh, sorry. I saw in the page that we also need to present like some bank account for concept of at least 10,000 US dollar. Those courses are only in English. You have maybe in Spanish. Let me understand the questions. I saw in the page that you present like a, okay. Bank. So bank statement. So as the post says, is a requirement for studying Korean with the student visa. Student visa means you need to study over 6 months. So if you want to study over 6 months, you need to have a student visa. One of the requirements documents for the student visa, you need to provide 10,000 US dollar in your bank. So you need to provide that in order to study under the 6 months, over the 6 months means you need to have a student visa. So if you want to study long term, which is over 6 months, you need to provide the letter, bank letter saying that you have in your bank, you have 10,000 US dollar. Why 10,000 US dollar? Is our government requirement to prove that you have the money to cover all your expenses in Korea without working illegally, because it's student visa. All right. So that would be my answer. Another question from the Emma. Do you have to be over 18 years old? She asked that, do you have to be over 18? Yes. So for the Korean course in Korea, two conditions, like I said. First thing would be you need to be over 18 years old. Secondly, you need to finish your high school so that you can provide the certificate or degree from the high school. So that's the two conditions. So yes, you need to be over 18 years old. Can you please provide more information about the online Korean course? So online Korean course, you can simply go to our website, Gogo Hanguk. You can just Gogo Hanguk and then go to the nice website, and then the third third menu is like online course. So when you go there, there are two programs. One program from the Hanyang University, the other program from the Donggong University. Once again, the beauty of our program, unlike any other like online program, if you study well, I mean there are like final test and also homework and attendance. So there are some conditions. So if you meet all the conditions, you will be able to get the official certificate from the two universities, and then you can start studying from the level 2 in Korea. So finishing your level 1 online in your country and then come to the school to Hanyang University or Donggong University, finishing the online course, then you can start from the level 2. That's the beauty of our program, and I don't think any other program cannot provide the official certificate. So that's the beauty of our program. So have a look. Oh, many. Can I study Korean language from Yonsei? Yes, you can. But we unfortunately our Yonsei is not our partner schools, so please contact the university directly. Yonsei is one of the good schools in Korea, so and famous one. So please contact them directly. Very interesting question, sir. How many direct are there in South Korea, and could you tell us which one is the most used? Uh, Not really. There are, I guess, there are many direct in Korea. You know, so so roughly, because there are many not many, like a province in South Korea. So Seoul, Gyeonggi area, Gangwon province, Chungbuk, like Chungcheongdo province, Jeollado province, Jeolla province, and Gyeongsang province. So Seoul, Gyeonggi, Gangwon province, 2, and Chungcheong province, 3, Jeolla, and Gyeongsang province. So roughly there would be 5 major direct. However, go into the deeper to each provinces. There are more cities. More cities means like a more slightly different like direct. So I would say 5 different direct. Most used, I would say, still like a Seoul, the Gyeonggi province. The main is we don't really call it direct, but the main Korean, how can I say, just like common direct, it's like more used just because there are many people. And then second would be the Busan direct, the Gyeongsang province. So that would be the most used direct. Very interesting questions. Another question, mostly many people use people asked us, is it possible that I can get a job after studying in Korea? I want to go for undergraduate and so on. So after studying Korean, after studying Korean, can I get the job? There would be two conditions. Yes, you can of course try for looking for your job. Yes, possible, but you need to have valid visa in order to work in Korea. Commonly asked questions to us would be, can I work with the student visa? The answer would be yes, but with the condition of when it comes to student working under the student visa, first 6 months you cannot work, but after 6 months, then you can work, but there are limited time, like up to 20 hours or up to 10 hours based on your study or based on the school, this and that, based on your visa. So under the student visa, a Korean course would be D4 visa. Under the D4 visa, first 6 months, in any case, you cannot work. But after 6 months, you can work, but under some conditions. So that would be my answer for working in Korea. But once again, you finish your, I don't know, you finish your like undergrad in Korea. Can I work? I mean, you can try that out. You can look for the work. You can look for the job. It doesn't mean that looking for a job, it doesn't mean that you can work. You can get a job. So that's kind of very, I don't know, easy questions. But getting a job is totally different story. All right. Another question from YouTube. How homestay I asked, can I get my second dose of the vaccine in Korea if I get my first in my home country? I would say yes. Yes, you can get the second shot or third shot. That's possible. Would you recommend Hanyang or Dongguk? What are the basic differences? For the Hanyang and Dongguk, the differences. I mean, I cannot really give you like differences in the class because both of the school are very good and then well balanced in terms of like speaking, writing, like a grammar, this and that, very well balanced. So both the school are very good. Price is slightly different. Location is Hanyang is here, north, east, south. No, northeast Seoul. Donggu is kind of center area, which is very nearby the Namsan Tower. So the location is a little bit different. What else? The class time is a little bit different because these days the Dongguk school starting from the 10 a.m. finish 2 p.m. Hanyang has like a starting from 9 a.m. finishing on 1 p.m. So it's more likely the location wide and what else? A class itself, both are very well balanced. So I want you to just like have a look on our website, and then there are a little bit more information about the schools. So you can choose one of them. But still, like I said, both of the schools are very, very good. All right. It's not sorry, it's not really clear information, but that's what I can tell you, what I can answer you right now. Okay, let me once again, this is Eddy from Google Hanguk. It's already pretty much 9 a.m. April 28th, Thursday morning. Once again, I do normally this live streaming Thursday morning. So if you have any questions, next live streaming is gonna be at the end of the May, Thursday. So it's gonna be 20 if everything is okay. It's gonna be 26th of the May. But for now, let me go through the lastly if I have missed anything from you guys. Thank you, thank you. And by any chance, if I miss any of your questions, please let us know by using our contact form. Where is the contact form? When you go to our bio link in our bio, there are special link. So when you click it, there are all the link for the studying online course or study trip, this and that's all the contact form as well. So please use the contact form in our bio link, the special link in bio, the best way. By any chance, if you cannot find it, email us at info@gogohanguk.com. Gogo Hanguk means GOGOHANGUK.com. Okay. But I will try to answer all the questions here. Sorry about it. Oh my God, my hand is not working properly today as well as last time. Okay. Okay, let me just go through. I want to take a Korean class this September. Can I get the details about what to prepare and cost? It's first thing first. Very good. September is good time to come to Korea, and I want you to contact us right now if you want to come to this September. As I said, contacting us 6 months ahead is the best time to ask us. Secondly, our service, our counseling is free. You don't have to charge. You don't have to pay anything to us. We don't charge anything to you. But of course, you need to pay for the tuition, all the things by yourself. But counseling, our service is free of charge. So I want you to ask us right now. And another thing, can I get details about the what to prepare and cost? So it's gonna be based on how long you want to study. You know, studying only one term, different requirement. Studying over 2 terms is totally different. So whether you want to study long term, studying over 6 months, or short term, based on that, we can give you the cost and preparations, what to prepare in advance. So based on that, we can give you more informations, meaning that like a studying less than like studying short term, less documents, less cost, of course. Studying long term is going to be more documents and cost more to you. All right. Oh, missed the question. Where is it? I missed it. Sorry. Is it easy to get job for freshers in South Korea? No, no. Uh, it's very difficult. I believe not already. I answered this similar question at last time. Very long answer for the questions. But when it comes to getting a job in Korea as a foreigner, it's gonna be not easy at all. It's gonna be not easy at all. Of course, if you already work in Korea before, a little bit advantage. The most importantly, you need to have the visa, working visa, in order to work in Korea. So that's the first thing. Your status is very important, essential to have it. Secondly, based on your experiences, you are able to find a job or getting a job in Korea. But once again, it's gonna be not easy. So my recommendation, if you want to really work in Korea, I want you to apply right now in your country, whether you can do it or not. See yourself, if you can do that or not. If you are, you know, if you can get a job, the company will support your visa. So you don't have to come in Korea and then look for a job. For me, it's not really make sense. So in your country, try to get a job in Korea, searching for like a job in Korea, and then apply for it, and see how you feel about it. So it should be the other way. Coming to Korea first and getting a job, not really my recommendation. Before coming to Korea, try to get a job in your country and see how it goes. And then you will see if it's possible, if it's easy or difficult. That is my question, my answer. And once again, it's gonna be not easy. I've been there. I've been there. I was in Canada for certain years, and I looked for the job. Luckily, I got a job, but it wasn't easy. So, so that's why. Oh, why is missing? Keep missing. Can I go to Korea before 10th? Meaning that you're like under 18 years old, I guess. Once again, in order to come to Korea, you need to be over 18 years old and then finishing your high school degrees, high school certificate. You need to provide high school certificate in order to apply for even for the short-term study. Sorry, short-term study. So under the 10th grade, then if it is not over 18 years old, then you need to wait for some time. There are many questions about scholarship in university course, degree or master course. Once again, we don't have any information about the scholarship. You need to find it yourself. Secondly, we currently only help you guys to study Korean in Korea. So about the psychology options in university, those answers we cannot really give you. Oh, I guess I already answered this. I'm gonna stay in Korea for 1 year with the D4 visa, which is the Korean language program. Is it true that for the first 6 months I cannot work? Yes, you're right. So first 6 months under the D4 visa, in any case, you cannot work. But after 6 months, you are able to work, but under some conditions. So what's the conditions? So first thing I want you to ask our coordinator, but give you like a lot of information. You need to be, because you are under the D4 visa, which means you need to keep studying, meaning that you need to be good student in the university. So there are certain scores you need to reach. There are certain attendance rate you need to reach. And then, of course, you need to have like a job, and then you need to do another like a kind of process, paperwork to report your work to the government immigrations. So there are certain conditions, but you're totally right about the first 6 months. You cannot work. All right. The university offer dormitory for students in Korean language program. Yes, yes. Many of the school will give you will offer the dormitory options, but once again, the dormitory in Korea, dormitory in global, I don't know, overseas is slightly different. The concept of the dormitory is slightly different. So there are pros and cons. To answer your questions, yes, many schools offer the dormitory for the Korean language program student. But once again, being a dormitory student, there are pros and cons. All right, but good question. Nowadays, to come to Korea just for tourism, the K-ETA is enough. I need something more. I will come in December on this year. If your country is under the KETA, then visiting is under the tourism, under the K-ETA is enough. Yes, it's totally enough. But once again, you need to check if your country is under the K-ETA system, K-ETA country list. All right. I think I need to change my background next time. Sorry about it. I will go to South Korea when I'm done with college. Okay. Welcome to Korea. How hard is it to become an actress in Korea for an American? Very hard. Very, very hard. I mean, if you have any connections or if you have any like experiences being in TV show in Korea, then you will have advantage. But still, not easy. Once again, getting a job, being an actress, or just like an employer in random companies is not easy. Sorry about it. But that's the very common things. Some questions in Spanish, I guess, but I cannot really speak in Spanish. I even like English is not the first my language, so I'm murmuring many times. But for our services, we support you in English, Spanish, Italian, and French. So we support you in 4 different languages. So Spanish ones, I cannot really understand your question, but please let us know by using our contact form or info@gogohanguk.com. Your coordinator, your Spanish, Italian, English, or a French coordinator will answer you in your language. Sorry about it. Oh, very good questions. Let me see if I can find it or not. Sorry, another question about the vaccine. If I had COVID and I cannot vaccine cause I'm immune, do I need to quarantine? Very good question because it's kind of in gray area. But my answer is yes. Our government give you exemption if in case you get a vaccines. So for example, if you got already COVID, but if you cannot vaccine in your country, it doesn't mean that it's how can I say? Still, our government want you to have like a vaccine shots. So the condition for being the quarantine exemption is vaccine shots, whether 2 shots or 3 shots with booster. So yes, you will still need to be in quarantine for 7 days. If you cannot prove you get a vaccine. Unfortunately, that's the rule for now. Of course, in the future, it can be different, but for now, that's the rule. Oh, very good question. If I have degrees, is still in progress in my country, but I have my high school certificate. Can I use it to apply to a Korean language course? Yes. So if you are now studying in the university, and you meaning that you cannot provide the certificate because you just like haven't finished it yet, then only thing you can use the high school degrees which you already finished it, and that's the thing that we will ask you. So as long as you can prove that you finish your high school, the Korean course department will say yes. Very good question. Very good questions. Okay, okay, okay. I think I pretty much covered everything. I might miss a couple of things. Are Koreans accepting of other nationalities if they are studying there? Are Koreans accepting of other nationalities if they are studying there? I mean, for us, our Korean course program, accepting all the people from all the countries. So I'm not really understanding your question, but you are foreigners. You want to come to Korea for studying, then yes, of course, you need to provide certain documents on time for certain courses. If you provide that, I believe like you'll be very welcomed. I want to become an English teacher in South Korea. I'm from UK, but I've got to get my diploma first. Any advice for before I come there? I mean, in terms of work, I cannot really give you any answers, but simple, basic advice would be uh, being an English teacher in Korea. Many people do. You need to be very serious, because being a teacher is not easy. And then sometimes you need to deal with maybe kids, or you need to deal with middle school or high school, mostly I guess under the 18, under the adults, and not adults. People is not adults. People are not adults. So you need to think about those things as well. So first thing would be you need to be very serious in terms of the teaching and ethics, those things. And secondly, uh, you might need to like teach like minors another considerations, then you want to really do that or not. So that would be something that I can give you. In terms of the language, of course, the more language skills, the better for your life, not just only for the work, to enjoy your life in Korea, and as well as, you want to buy or you want to go to washroom. If you cannot really say it, then you may have difficulties to communicate with the like people, Korean people near you. So having a Korean skills is going to be very, very beneficial for your life or for your surviving in Korea. Okay, so I wanted to maybe study before coming to Korea, a little bit like basic things. Please, can you tell that does Seoul National University have MSc in zoology major, please? No, I cannot tell because I don't know. Once again, the major, the master is not our, business. Sorry about it. So you can just go to Seoul National University, and there are all the major informations, information in majors. Just go there and check it. The first 6 months, do you have to live in the dome or know what you recommend? Ah, totally depends. The Let me give you the cons about the dormitory. In Korea, most of the dormitory, it has curfew. They have curfew, meaning that the front door will close normally midnight or 1 a.m., close totally, and opens up 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning. So for those like 4 or 5 or 6 hours, you literally cannot get into the dormitory. All right. So that's the cons being in dormitory student. The other things, pros a lot. You can meet many people, Korean and foreigners, in the dormitory, so you can do networking, and the price is relatively cheap compared to like a private sector. And then there are many facilities near the dormitory, like convenience store on the first floor. Not every school, but many of the schools, and cafeteria, first floor, gym, laundry room, well maintained. So there are many pros and cons which have curfews, which is not really like a, ideal for the adult, So that's like pros and cons. So some university might ask you to stay in the dormitory for the first 6 months or first 3 months, but that's the recommendation. And some do like you need to stay in the dormitory for 6 months. But if you have selection like choice, then it's totally up to you whether you want to stay in the dormitory, save money, networking this and that, having curfew, or if you want to be like a more enjoy your nighttime, then you it's better to stay out of the dormitory. Okay. Yeah, it's very still, yeah, there are curfews for the dormitory from the universities. It's already 9:16. Let me answer a couple of more questions and finish our live streaming. I normally do like 1 hour, but I'm very happy to answer you guys. Sometimes, like I said, I can like give you some answers such as master or university things or scholarship. That's something that we cannot answer you. But other than that, I will try to my best to answer it. Okay, I guess many of the questions relate to the master and working in Korea, which I cannot really give you tips. Thanks for replying to me. Yes, I was thinking of attending the Hanguk University through you guys to learn the language before I become an English teacher. Very good. What course would you recommend for me? So first thing first, there are Hanguk University of Foreign Languages. There's the Hanguk Wede. That's something that we are not really partnered with. But if you are mentioning the Hanyang University, then we can help you go to the Hanyang University. About the language, learn the language. For us, we recommend you for the we introduce Korean language program from the Hanyang or Dongguk, Gyeongguk, Silla universities. So for us, we can give you the Hanyang University Korean course. And if you are asking about the visiting program, the Hanyang University is totally up to you what to choose in terms of the classes or courses. Many courses will be in English, and also if you want, under the visiting program, you can also study Korean intensively or shortly, like a 3 credits, 2 or 3 hour, maybe I remember 3 hours per week, something like that. So there are different things. So Max W12, I want you to contact us through our contact form and give you more information about the course from the Hanyang University or Hanyang University visiting program. All right. Good morning. Oh, do you believe it's better to get shared accommodation, solo living, or host a family? Oh, it's totally different. It's more everything that you mentioned is like a pros and cons. So I cannot really give all the benefits or all the like not benefit things, but it's more likely uh, your characteristic. You want to interact with people, then you can study with a shared office, a shared house, or like host a family. But you want to have your own like privacy, not really like interact with like people, then you need to have your own room or you own your house. So it's more likely your characteristics, and each of them of course are pros and cons. And for us, we can help you to find the share house, host the family like homestay, and the mini studio goshi one like private rooms and dormitory. So you have like options for you. So just let us know what you want, and then we can guide you after that. Can you change where you want to live each semester? Oh, very good question. Can you change where you want to live each semester? So if you are telling me the schools, like for example, I want to study this term in this A school. I want to study this term in B school. That's conditionally possible, meaning that if you are under the K eta, meaning that study short term in Korea, then that's possible. But meaning that you need to extend your K eta by leaving the country and coming back to Korea. That's possible, but troublesome. So it's conditionally possible, but less likely. For example, if you are under the student visa, school A, but if you want to change after the first term, if you want to change it to another school under the default visa, not possible because default visa is going to be stick to you with the A school. So you need to study under the default visa 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. You need to keep staying, keep studying at the same school. So that's not possible. So conditionally, but both are very not easy to change, almost impossible to change every time. But for example, if you want to change your accommodation every time, that's totally possible. That's totally possible. Hmm. Do you think it's better look for a Korean school directly when I arrive in Korea, or it's better to do in my country before go? Maybe it's more cheap directly in Korea. No, the price would be same whether you wanna apply for it in Korea or out of Korea. The price will stay same. Price will remain the same. However, the difference is being applying uh, applying for the Korean course in your country or in Korea, within Korea. Uh, if you want to apply for Korean class in Korea, then I mean that's possible. Benefit, I would say more like this way. Let me put this way. Benefit applying Korean course in your country is giving you uh, the visa status. Okay. It's very complicated, like many conditions for that. So if you apply for visa in your country, will give you benefits, not prepared all the documents in Korea, which can be troublesome. So that's the only kind of benefit being in your country applying for Korean course. Being in Korea applying for the Korean course, you can also study, you can also apply in like a student visa in Korea. That's possible. So it's very conditional things, many factors that you need to consider. So for that, simply there are some benefits to apply a Korean course in your country, especially when you apply for the D4 visa, like a student visa. There are some benefits. That's the only thing that I can tell you. Other than that, I want you to contact us to give you more information what you want. And based on that, we will guide you what kind of benefits in the case A, case B, case 3, case D, because there are many conditions from your questions. Okay. Okay, let me answer last one questions and then I gotta go. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering my question. I really appreciate it. Would I need a visa to come study through you guys because I would go for the long-term options and intensive course. Yes, it's gonna be if you wanna apply for the long-term course, like over 6 months course, then you should have like student visa. And in order to get the student visa, once again, visa applications is on your own. However, we are going to guide you what to prepare from school for the visa, this and that. So my answer is yes, you should have like a visa, student visa, in order to study like over 6 months, which is long term, right? I will travel with the program in September for university. That's good. I hope I we can okay, I can cover all the questions. Hopefully, I might miss some of the questions. Once again, then I want you to contact us through our using our contact form, which is the best option to reach us. The contact form is in the bio. There are special link in our bio. When you click it, there are contact form online course from Donggu, from the Hanyang University online course in Italian version, this and that. So all the things are there. So I want you to check that out. Okay, all right. Thanks for joining live streaming from Gogo Hanguk. This is Eddy from Gogo Hanguk. It's been 1.5 hours. Oh my God. I normally do 1 hour, but time flies as always. So thank you so much for joining our live streaming. I'm very happy to answer all of your questions. And next time, next time is gonna be the end of the May. Uh, and still, if you have any question about studying Korean in Korea, let us know. And sorry for not giving you the answers about the scholarship and university courses, including the master or like bachelor degree courses and some working things. But that's something that I cannot give you exact like right information. I would rather not giving you the information from myself because it can be red flag in the future. So I want you to like search by yourself because very important for yourself. So sorry and thank you for joining my our live streaming and hope you guys have a great day. Be safe. Still like Corona is there for your family and for yourself. And thank you. 감사합니다. Okay, bye bye. See you next month. Still contact us if you have any questions. If I want to stay longer than what I apply for, can I do that? Yes, you can extend your study in Korea without leaving Korea. For that, let us know. We can help you for that. Totally. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Good night. Good day. Good afternoon. Bye bye. Let me close the YouTube first and the streaming. I really